Hey, how are things going as y'all get there with the Saints here?
Yeah. It's still challenging, obviously, that, we weren't able to get a win last week. But, what can you do about it now? It's, another opportunity for us to go out there and show, what we're capable of. We know that our record is 3-7, not where we want to be, but we can't have the characteristics of a 3-17. We got to be on our details just like any other week.
Coach said Ulrich said yesterday people was trying to maybe do too much in the last couple drives where y'all were needing stops. How do y'all get people focused back on doing their job?
Yeah, you just got to, anytime you're in a critical part of the game, we got a lot of guys on this team that, want to make a play. But as simple as it is, in those critical moments, you got to be at your best and just doing your job. Just simple as that. And, I think that we didn't tackle very well either in the end of that game for us to win that game and get off the field on that last drive. So just got to be better.
And what would it mean to the unit to get Devon back?
Yeah, it's just seeing him out there, just having him out there is, refreshing, honestly. He's been a big part of our defense. We were thinking about it. We're like, we haven't won since Devon got hurt, and that's just a credit to who he is as a person and what he means to our team. So I'm excited to, if he's out there, have him out there and ready to go back to war with him for sure.
You're right next to Michael. Have you talked to him, and what's his spirits like as he's, getting ready for surgery?
Yeah, I think, obviously he's not happy. Obviously he takes a lot of blame for, where we are right now. But it's another opportunity for him to respond from adversity, and he's done that multiple times. And I think a lot of people feel for him. They feel for, because of how he approached every week, even when we weren't playing well enough. People are feeling for him and wishing that it didn't happen, but it is what it is. And I think he has the right mindset. He has the right, support system around him to come back on top out of this. So, prayers to Mike for sure.
Just so you guys are, obviously 3-7 and not where you want to be at this stage. What would mark a successful final 7 games for you? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I would say just playing some clean football. All around as a team, just closing out 2-minute, opportunities when we have a chance to win, games as a defense. We continue to get off the field in that instance, and then also just continue to build our relationships together and just learn from each other. As bad as this season, has been, there's also a lot of good things that you can learn from it and, take on, to your next football season, take on to your life. I think that's one of the biggest things. We always talk about winning. Obviously, that's the ultimate goal, but you still want to grow as a person, as a man, and become a better person. And you do that by, bouncing off each other and, learning from each other's mistakes and having conversations with teammates. So I don't want to get to that point where we just want to be good people and we want to win football games, obviously. And I think that'll be, that'll define success for us, is if we can get us some wins and, maybe get in those talks, play some meaningful football games towards the end.
Are those the kind of conversations that you guys are having, like, internally? Because Zach Robinson was here yesterday, and he was saying, like, I know he's offensive, but, play loose, be yourselves, be free. Is that the kind of talk with you guys as well? Yeah,
I would say it hasn't really changed. It's more so on defense. It's like, hey, I got to do my job, so Caden can do his. If I'm not doing my job, then I look on tape, Caden looks on tape, Jeff Obert looks like he's play caller. So, like that means more. That means a lot to me, I think, when you're going out there and playing for not just yourself, just going out there and play free. You can't do that on the defensive side. you got to do your job. So, ultimately, you want to keep putting good stuff on tape and show people that you're capable of playing at a high level.
I guess he was meaning hey, don't press.
Yeah.
Don't try too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Do your job, but don't press. Don't put too much pressure on.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Because at this time, people do start to just kind of go rogue and kind of try to do their own thing. And I think our locker room, there's playmakers in there. People want to make plays and make plays for us to win football games. But you do that by continuing to do your job, and those plays will come.
How much easier is it said than done to do these things amid a 5-game losing streak?
Yeah, it's tough. You start hearing all these outside noises, and every time you get on SportsCenter or your phone, social medias, that's the first thing you see is all the negative. But like I said, I know the relationships that I've built here over the last 3 years or even this year. I know how important that is to me, and I'll make sure I don't take no type of days off or approach this week or the next couple weeks any different than I did the first couple weeks of the season. So I owe that to my brothers. That's what I signed up for, and that should be the message for sure.
Earlier you said you don't want this team to show characteristics of a 3-7 team. What are those characteristics?
Yeah, you start seeing people relent. People don't start watching, they stop watching the amount of tape that you were watching at the beginning of the season. Usually people start, the team just starts splitting apart, and I think we got to show our regards, our love for one another by just continuing to do that, do our job, and maybe even do a little bit more to figure out how we can get a win.
Have you seen everyone kind of adapt that more mentality?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously there's, stuff that, is still kind of going on. We're reading stuff about Mike. Is it true? Is he coming back? Those are questions that people are in the locker room are asking, and I think our leaders, we got to keep people tight, and you do that by showing up to work every single day, and that leads to having the same exact process, and then hopefully it leads to a win.
Anything else? All right, thanks, y'all.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jessie.
Everybody good today?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll start it off. Excited for this week. Going to New Orleans, a divisional game versus a really good special teams unit. They have Dante Pettis back there as a returner, dual returner out of UW. Has been is a veteran. Does a good job getting to the perimeter with returns. Also, specialist-wise, Kai Kroger coached him in the East-West, left-footed punter that could flip the field, obviously groupie, strong-legged kicker out of Notre Dame, started off at Arkansas State, and then we always got to be alert of Taysom Hill if he's out there on special teams. And then they have a younger player named Stallbird, linebacker from South Dakota State, who's been a very dynamic player for them. So we're very excited for this opportunity to go out there and put together our best effort to put our team in a position to go win those games. So I'll open up to any questions.
Coach, were you pleased with Zane being able to come through for you all with the big field goals last week?
Yes, sir. I'm excited for all those guys that are on the field goal unit. With a couple of injuries, having guys step in like Gwen, Newsel jumping back out there, being our starting center, Kyle Hinton playing, different positions and stuff, and then Charlie Warner, Teagan on the perimeter, Elijah Wilkinson, Jake Matthews. Well, I think on that fourth quarter field goal, the one that we had around the 2-minute, to put us up 5 points. Right before that field goal, Jake Matthews had the wind knocked out of him. And he was hurting for a little bit. He stayed in there, did a great job in protection, with him getting all the pressure. But it's a whole operation. We talk about Zane, Bradley, Liam, to make that 52-yard field goal to put us up 5 points. That was a big field goal around that 2-minute mark. And then to turn around after the big return by our return team and Agnew getting us in good field position to get a couple first downs, and then Zane to hit that field goal to put us to tie the game. Those were huge, and those are things that we expect. And we're staying process driven, and we get those opportunities. There's expectation to put points on the board.
How big was Agnew's return to kind of give y'all a shot there to tie it up.
Yeah, that's big. It's all those guys just going out there and doing their job to give Agnew opportunity to get vertical with the football. Throughout the game, they had a game plan, just doing whatever they can to get the ball out of Agnew's hands. And we made some adjustments, and we, did some things to help Agnew get the ball in that critical situation. And it's big too, not only to get that return. That far downfield past the 45, but to play that play penalty free. Because if you get a penalty in that play, we're starting inside the 20. So like that was huge. To play penalty free, create seams, and let Agnew secure the ball and get vertical to give our offense a chance to put us in field goal position, and that's complimentary football right there. And then to flip it, take it another step, D-Led, to go cover that next kick, to go cover that next kick and tackle them around the 25 to put them in position where they just got to take a knee to go into overtime. So being able to go from that from the return to offense doing their thing to us making a field goal to go and cover that kick. So we got to continue to build off of that and do more of that come this week and weeks following.
How was that relationship with you and you and Zane and his and your crew there developing?
I mean, it's good. There's no shortcuts on forming and building those type of authentic relationships. It takes time. It takes energy from both sides, to work together, see what makes him tick, understand our vision, our philosophy, and how we operate, his kicking philosophy, his modalities in which how he trains and gets ready for the week, gets ready for the game. And there's no shortcuts on getting that stuff done. So it's been great just being able to grow and learn and be a part of his journey.
He's been open about his OCD. And I was wondering if you've noticed, does he have a certain way of doing things that maybe is different from other kickers?
I mean, everybody has their different rituals or cues that they do to whether get ready for a kick, get ready for a game, get ready for practice, from how somebody puts their shoes on. I don't know, are you a sock, shoe, or are you a sock, shoe? Like everybody has, now that's a discussion, I don't know, D-Led, you look like a sock, shoe.
No, sock.
Okay, just making sure. But everybody has their ways and things of doing things. I don't really pay attention to that. I allow him to be himself and be the best version of himself. And that's for everybody in our room, specialists or core players. And I want those guys to be comfortable in their skin and own who they are and what they're about.
Anything else?